Hey, it's BMA Double G! Woohoo! How's everyone doing? Oh yeah, and welcome back to another episode of Fractured SMP Season 2. Yes, Fractured SMP Season 2 is back. Oh my gosh, it's been a while since I've done my last episode. It actually is almost 2 months after my last episode. Dang, we went to the end 2 months ago, and since then, actually, I have some stuff I want to talk to you all about before I get started here on this episode. So, as you probably know, this is the first video I haven't done in a month because I was getting used to my new job because I got a new job, IRL again. Yeah, it was good, and it's actually been pretty good. And I decided to go play another game for a while, so I went and played Ark Survival Evolved again. You know that dinosaur game that I had played before? Yeah, I went and played it on my Xbox for a bit, and since then, I've been playing it and keeping myself away from MC. Yeah, that's what's been going on behind the scenes for me. And on top of that, Fractured has been going on inactive right now because we recently had a meeting. We had a meeting a few weeks ago, and because we were actually talking about we need to really get Fractured back going. And I haven't seen a lot of people coming back online. I mean, here you got Dice, you got RG, you got Otter back on. Yeah, Otter's actually been on for quite a while. But the rest, Eero hasn't been on in a while, or Sapphire. Even though I saw Sapphire in another series. Hey. Oh, and also, guys, this is the first time you're seeing PMA in his new official skin. What? I mean, it's really like this outfit I chose. Yeah, made out of green, and actually, I think I might need to improve some stuff because I still see a little blue spot there. I don't know. There are some stuff I miss on the skin, which I need to go on Blockbench and fix up. But other than that, this is a pretty awesome skin for me, and I like my short sleeves. And my whole body is aqua blue, a little bit aqua blue. Yeah, but my main color still on my skin is dark blue. Just saying, dark blue is still the same color. Dark blue is still the same color on my skin. But hey, we're going with the new style of blue on my skin. And also, I added in a few more beds here in the Villager Breeder, just so I can get more villagers, because I'm going to be doing lots of curing for them. Alright, but I want to, actually, in this episode, I want to talk about stuff that I'm going to be doing to base this season of Fractured, because I haven't really talked about it at all, because we got the starter base, we got my copper farm, and stuff like that. Yeah, you got my starter base up here, which is going to be called the Cyan Hill base. Yeah, actually, this is what the Oh yeah, last time I also built a shop here. Yeah, it's just said I am getting some prices, some stock. Yeah, I got some diamonds. Yeah, 16 name tags. I'm losing 16 name tags. Hey, I guess somebody bought another Nautilus shell. Yeah, for conduit. Whole base area. everything's gonna be. So obviously this area right here is gonna be my shopping, my area where I build my shop. So it's basically the shopping area base, as you can see. All right. And this whole area where this village is, it's going to be the villager area, where the villager chain hall is going to be, and the villager breeder as well as the villager curing will also be here as well. But the first thing I need to do is take down this village in order to build the train hall. Yeah, I got my awesome fish farm, and I feel like someone's been. I have a feeling it's Emeralds, because Emeralds and I are neighbors this season of Fractured. This base is actually not too far from where I am. Yeah, no. Part of me wishes to sell some of these bows, because these bows really have useful enchants on them. I know, if people actually want a bow. Yeah, and you got my witch. Yeah, this whole area. So you got I got this flower forest right here, right next to my base. So this is actually where I'm planning on building the industrial. I'm actually gonna build all my auto farms in this biome here. So yeah, this will be my auto farm area for the base. Alright, and the last area right here of my base. Yes, my base is going to be like different areas this season of Fractured. This is going to be where I'm going to build a bunch of mini games for the season. And I had a crazy idea of building board game mini games this season of Fractured. So I might actually make a lot of board game mini games here in this area. I know about the board game Trouble, and maybe I can try and see if I can get the Sorry board game into Fractured as well. Yeah, because I was thinking about building that as well. And there's actually other board games. I'm thinking about Connect 4. Yeah, you guys probably know what Connect 4 is. And there's one more game I wanted to build. I think it's Monopoly. I was thinking about Monopoly, but that is about like money and stuff, and I don't know yet. I might think about Monopoly. Who knows? I might also think about making the life board game as well. Who knows? Who knows, guys? We'll see out of that. But yeah, that over there is going to be the gaming area. This is the hill area. This is going to be the crop farm, the basic farm area right here, in which I'm planning on breeding the rest of the animals here. Plan on breeding chickens here as well. And also the wool farm will be getting automated in the industrial farm area. You got this area where I grow the fungi. Yeah, that's my plan for the season. And actually, I'm also thinking about making a mega base as well. And I haven't figured out an area around the space for a mega base yet, but I do plan on making one, a mega base this season as well. Yeah, that's basically my plan for the season. And also, I do want to do lots and lots of plans for the server this season. Not just like hang out at my base. I also want to do stuff over at spawn. I'm thinking about like decorating spawn a bit, as well. And also, there's a lot of lore stuff going on that could happen here as well. Like we got the child custody case coming soon, which I can't wait because I'm a key witness of Freddy. Yes. Alright, so what I want to do for this episode is, I think I kind of want to go around this ocean over here and go conquer all the ocean monuments, because I did ask the Fractured, I need Elder Guardians this season because of my museum, because it's going to be a mob museum, and I want the Elder Guardians. I want actually more than one Elder Guardian. I want actually more than 3 from a monument. I'm thinking about getting 3 more from another monument as well. Yeah, and I got like this whole monument right here, but the thing is, I need to get some sponges, and I looked at that monument. Yes, I looked at that monument in Trade, and there is no sponges in that one. So I need to go to another one where it has sponges. And also I'm gonna go ahead and make some water breathing and some night vision potions as well. And you know what, guys, I'll see y'all back after I get all that stuff made, and then I'll go ahead and start conquering the ocean monuments. Let's go take on the ocean monument. I think I'll be fine with my arm. Hello, Guardians. How you doing? Alright, where are the other Guardians? Oh, here's the first one. Oh yeah, got it. Oh, the Guardian! Woohoo! Yeah. All right, guys, I'm back after some time has passed. I went over to a bunch of monuments, and I got a lot of sponges. Yeah. I'll be there. Alright, I got lots of sponges, so in this choker box right here, yeah, this is all the sponges I have for myself. Now, the other thing I wanted to tell you is I ran to Noodles, and he let me kill them, and he gave me a mini VMA. Yeah, he's awesome. So he made a mini VMA, because he and I got to chat with each other about it. Yeah, it's very interesting. Alright, but anyways guys, I think it's time to show what's going on. What's going to happen next is we're going to court. Oh yeah! The child custody case is coming. And I am in the scheme of being the bodyguard. Woohoo! Alright, so I'll meet you guys over at the courthouse that the other fractions are at, and I'll see you all back. I think I'm gonna do We're doing something risky. I might, Okay, I'm gonna go invisible.
Ooh.
Oh, come on! I wasn't here for that! Okay, everyone's here. Alright, go ahead.
Only Don, but Freddy Clucker himself. We are going to be suggesting that he is prosecuted for the following crimes: animal cruelty and endangerment, criminal trespass, child endangerment, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and recklessly endangering another person, also known as the REAP law.
Objection, Your Honor. This is a separate court case. We are here for child custody.
No, this is relevant to the child custody case because if all of these are shown, which I believe they are very easily shown through all of the evidence we have put into the Fractured General chat, then there is no way on Earth that, that Aereo should be given not only custody, but any visitation whatsoever for Freddy Clucker, my apologies. But all of this will be displayed in due time with our witness statements and with our overview of the evidence provided. So this is where we stand on this. Not only should Aereo not have any visitation, but he should be prosecuted for crimes listed and described previously. Thank you so much for your time.
Plaintiff's lawyer's objection is sustained. This is correct. This is a custody trial, not a criminal trial. You can present the evidence, but there will be this is an instruction to the jury, there will be no judgment of criminal activity on the part of Aereo, even if he did something obviously very, very goofy.
Does this mean we're going to be having a second
Is that
court
not
case?
Well, I
We
guess
were talking about trial chamber trial. We were. That was brought up. I think we know our case now.
Is the criminal record not something we should put into consideration when making our judgment later?
If he has an existing criminal record, that can be brought into evidence, but a criminal proceeding would have to be something separate.
Okay.
Right.
But as the defense lawyer pointed out, that evidence could also be relevant to this case, so you are allowed to present it. It's just that we're not going to pass any sort of criminal judgment today. Although I do reserve the right to, if necessary, bonk somebody over the head. That is the judge's prerogative.
To be clear, I would like to say we're not expecting a prosecution against Aereo today for any of these crimes. We would like to present them as an initial case purely for the custody case. A further prosecution for the crimes committed would be made later in due time.
Very well.
Toady is a good lawyer.
I was surprised too.
So that was opening arguments, but you also have, because things got slightly out of order, you have Aereo on the stand, and it's your opportunity to cross-examine.
Of course, I will cross-examine.
To speak very legal terms, that I definitely know what I'm doing.
So, Aereo, as far as I'm aware of the story, which I've been going over the story with Dawn for the last couple of weeks or so, this is the sequence of events that I have been led to believe is true. And I will ask you to confirm all of these events as I go through them in order. First of all, you and Dawn met up in the desert, where Dawn is currently based, or somewhere in the vicinity. And the first thing that happened was you met Dawn with her cat. And the first instinct you had upon approaching Dawn was to axe crit the cat. You stopped yourself briefly as you noticed that the cat had a collar, but the first instinct you had was to crit the cat. An innocent cat standing a couple blocks off to the side. Do you have any objection to this, or is this something that you will admit happened?
Yes, I do admit that has happened. But I see that, as you might have saw, that I refrained from actually hitting the cat, and in reality, I did not hurt it.
True, but with the evidence gifted, it is important to note that it was an instinct. It was not a logical decision before the axe crit was initially brought up, but of course it was put down. Later, moving forward in time, you threw a couple of eggs, which created, I believe, two chickens, correct? So you threw a number of eggs and there were two chickens out of the initial batch of eggs, one of which became Freddy Clucker, correct?
Yes.
And I ask you, what happened to the second chicken?
I cannot recall. So
it's funny that you can't recall that, because the second chicken was axe critted by you, as provided in the evidence we have run in the Fractured General chat.
There was another. I mean, I think he did something like that in season 1 too.
The brother or sister, we don't even know. We didn't have the opportunity to check the gender of said chicken before it was ruthlessly murdered by Aereo. Was axe critted and killed before Freddy Clucker even had a name. Dawn then, of course, jumped into action defending the second chicken, eventually saying, Aereo, if I give this chicken a name, will you leave it alone? And Aereo says yes. Now keep this in mind, because this is an important part of the plot. Later, of course, after a little bit of harassment and back and forthing, Freddy Clucker was given his name, a small temporary enclosure, and the story went on from there. Because right after that, Aereo came back and made more chickens. More chickens were created, and these chickens were still in the property of Dawn, so they were brought into an enclosure as well. And Dawn asked that she be able to take care of them, as they were, in a sense, siblings of Freddy Clucker, and they were in that environment. Now, Aereo, do you have any recollection of what happened to those chickens after they were born?
So what I'm thinking of what you're trying to say is there were two chickens that came out of that. They were, I recall them being both put into a boat at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And that's as those chickens were created, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
I believe that's about it.
Interesting, leave out what happened immediately after, because after this point, the siblings of Freddy Clucker, keep in mind, and again, we're not going to go into the details of prosecuting for certain crimes, but I think most of us would find it morally reprehensible to separate siblings, young siblings, early on in their childhood development. Soon after, Aereo did promise to leave Freddy alone. He did not promise with the other two siblings, which he promptly grabbed and leaded with a happy ghast, similar to the one just outside the courtroom now, and boated them and flew them away. Those two chickens were removed from property, taken away from Freddy Clucker and from Dawn. Now, while all of this happened, there were a few other things that Ario said that were on record, on stream, that you can view at your discretion. One of the things he said was admitting killing 20 villagers within just a few days of the server opening. 20 villagers.
I hear you.
Another thing was threatening to attack the chicken, placing cactuses next to Freddy Clucker, just seemingly randomly. After being requested that he distance himself from Freddy Clucker and from Dawn, breaking that distancing, admitting he had started going on a villain arc, as he quoted, talking about stealing items, later rolling up to Dawn's shop, what would eventually become the plushie shop, attacking her with a crossbow and robbing her. And then, soon after, actually in call with Your Honor here, saying that he did not want supervised visitation. He would not accept supervised visitation. Why is that, Ario? Why would you not accept supervised visitation?
I prefer to not answer the question.
Oh no.
I think that gives you the answer that you can infer. So,
we never did the swearing up on the book again. I'm just realizing that.
Oh, we're past that now.
that's okay. We've got a pizza. That's what I'm swearing upon.
Are we doing this by Ontario rules? Since I'm in Ontario and I was asked to be the judge.
Sure, let's go by.
I think that'd be
Ontario.
really fun.
What's Ontario
What
rules?
are Ontario rules?
Well, in this case, it means that Irio does not have the right to not answer.
Oh.
However, as compensation for the lack of equivalence to Fifth Amendment in the States, anything that is said in this court does not apply as evidence in future legal proceedings.
In future prosecutions. Gotcha.
So whatever you say here can't be used as evidence against you in a criminal case should one be brought.
So, I suppose we'll ask the question again, though, then. Why, Ario, would you not have accepted supervised visitation?
Why? You say?
Yes. Why would you not have accepted supervised visitation? I understand, to be clear, that your eventual goal is for full custody, with Dawn getting visitation. But in the case that Dawn has custody, why would you not accept visitation while Dawn was in the area? Doesn't seem so bad to me. I mean, there's no bad blood between the two of you, I'm certain.
Well, because at the moment I didn't trust Dawn.
And why is that?
Because in a way the way that I'm trying to go through at this is my actual father instincts may and actually have started to come through at the around these moments.
But they didn't come through for the first chicken that was born.
Well, at that point, I never had a child before, and I.
What? So you're deferring to lack of experience with parenthood, despite previous records. I would also like to mention that in the list of evidence given in the general chat, one of the things that Arios stated was he did not know that Freddy Clucker was his child before he had killed the other chicken and stolen the other two. He wasn't aware of the fact that Freddy Clucker was his child. So if he didn't even know either he is lying and he did know, and therefore he killed one of his own children, or he did not know and has now decided that just because he is not allowed to visit or have custody of a chicken, he now must do it out of spite. So, with that, I'd like to end my time speaking here with Ario. I'd like to defer to the prosecuting lawyer some of my remaining time, and I hope that the jury is satisfied with the level of information we're getting here. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
So, one thing I noticed when listening upon the respectable pizza buff over here, he referred a lot to evidence that they had collected, and they so kindly, I will admit, I'm quite thankful for this, gave it to me before the court case for my own reviewing. And I would like to actually use some of this evidence. So one of the things I remember them talking about assault of my client towards the defendant, and I actually have some counter evidence where before that happening there was actually assault towards Irio by the defendant. So if you would all look at, see if I can find it real quick. It's somewhere. Evidence number 15. Mr. Irio, do you happen to recall, shortly after, I believe, the birth of Freddy, you tried to sleep in a bed, and Dawn not only broke your bed, but also stole it and started running away. Do you recall this moment?
Yes, I do.
And in this moment, when you were chasing after Dawn to reclaim your bed, your property, she hit you multiple times.
Yeah, yes.
That's all in that case. The next, she mentions 2 other children, and when looking at the evidence, I believe it is first is evidence 12, where these children were placed into a boat, as you mentioned. And the next is evidence number 14, where they claimed you stole the chickens. Was Dawn at any point involved in the birth of these children? Because I remember you distinctly telling me Freddy was born at the feet of Dawn.
Yes. I did say that Freddy was born at the feet of Dawn. The only reason why now I'm thinking Dawn's more involved in this case is because, well, she's the nearest mother.
So her being nearby, you would say, might associate her with being the mother of these children. But you are without doubt the father.
Yes. I'm the one who threw that egg to create Freddy Clucker.
You would say it's unclear whether Dawn is actually the mother, because these young chicks were not born in the same way Freddy was?
Yes.
So, that being said, it would be unclear whether these children are actually fully brothers to Freddy.
Yeah.
Objection. If I remember correctly, and this is going off of my memory, the eggs were taken from my chest, having come from Freddy, that I have been collecting and storing over time. Therefore, my involvement in, at least for the twins, is a lot more than Ario is implying. And the lawyer as well.
I did see the video, but like the evidence, but what didn't
the other
did those
two
twins
chickens
come from Freddy? Oh, so there were
the
more
airlifted
chickens.
gas twins.
They were not
title.
Freddy's children. They were eggs from the same batch that Freddy was taken from.
No.
No?
They were like eggs. This was Freddy.
Oh,
Freddy
yes.
was a much older sibling.
Freddy was a much older. Well, yes, but they were of the same origin point, which was your egg supply.
Yes.
Yes.
Freddy, I think Aereo, if I remember correctly, because I do want to be transparent, Aereo did Freddy's egg. I'm not sure exactly. I can't remember where Aereo got it from. But the eggs that the twins came from were in my chest that he took out and started spamming.
And you did
That
stop
is the end
him?
of my piece. I actually do remember saying something about like not wanting stuff to be taken out of my chest.
I would like to object
Oopsie.
to that by saying, how would one stop someone from throwing eggs they have already removed from a chest? There's no way in Minecraft of doing that without attacking the other person.
Well, that would be considered defending yourself, and not grounds for assault.
Precisely.
This was during a
So
time
in
when
that
we were
instance,
having.
she would have been able to.
This was during a time when we were having heightened verbal altercations. In the fact that we were already. There was already an understanding that this court case was going to happen. I did not want to do anything that might implicate myself as being dangerous or a bad parent.
Shouldn't you get it here now?
But
Who are we
regardless,
questioning?
This was.
the chickens were not born near Freddy.
If I remember correctly,
Like they were
right
not
in
in
front of
his enclosure as was inferred by Pizza Butt.
They weren't in his enclosure, but they were close by, and they had been in contact.
directly in front of the area. Like there was eye contact, and there was a boat.
The defendant is reminded that she is not currently on the stand.
Okay, well, regarding evidence 14, the so-called stealing of the chickens and trespassing, were you ever asked to leave during that time, Iria?
The actual getting the chicken eggs and
Yeah,
actually
leading up
throwing
to
them?
the birth of the twins, did Dawn ever tell you to leave?
I don't recall easily, but I don't think so.
So you would say she did not technically have you trespassed, which would mean you were not trespassing.
It was before, I believe, the trespass has. She said I trespassed.
So we're done with this witness.
I do not have anything more to ask of Ariel.
All right. Ariel, you may step down. I believe the plaintiffs are still bringing forth witnesses if you have any more.
I would like to call Dawn to the stand, Your Honor.
Very well. Dawn, please take the stand.
Wish me luck.
Why is it called a stand if the person immediately sits? It just occurred to me.
I think they stand sometimes. They used to.
Oh, okay.
So, Dawn Explosion. May I call you Dawn?
If you wish, yeah. I go by as many nicknames as people prefer.
So, just to ensure for the record, you are indeed the mother of Freddy,
I'd like to believe so, yes.
and you are the one who named Freddy Clucker.
Yes.
Was there an inspiration for the name you chose?
There was an inspiration.
Might I ask what
However-
that inspiration was?
I want to preface this by saying I was under a lot of pressure to come up with a name fast. I wanted to make sure it was a memorable name that would help Freddy succeed on the server, and I took inspiration off of other people's experiences in Minecraft SMPs by taking a name or concept that already exists and giving it a twist relevant to the child himself. So Freddy Clucker is based off of a very popular movie franchise. Yeah.
Clarify who you named Freddy Clucker after.
I believe the character's name is Freddy Krueger. It's pretty popular.
That makes sense.
So
I've been dreaming
you
of
named
Freddy so
your
many
child
times.
after an
That's not
infamous
good.
serial killer.
A fictional one.
An infamous serial killer.
Again, I was under a lot of pressure, and it was the first thing I could think of.
Did you consider the name that my client had proposed before you clarified Clucker?
I might need to refresh on what that was.
I believe his suggestion was Freddie Mercury, the infamous singer who was quite successful.
That is not somebody I already had a familiar understanding of. Not that I know the other one much better. I just had not heard of the one that he has brought up before.
I've
As
heard the
well.
song Bohemian Rhapsody.
No, I live under a
You've not
rock. I
heard-
think this has been
So you,
understood.
You've not heard any songs by the band Queen?
No, I literally live under a rock in the void, man.
We'll go ahead and move on from that. So you would consider yourself currently the primary caretaker for Freddy?
I would say yes. I named him. I take care of him. I feed him. I hired a bodyguard to protect him after this event. Put a lot of time and effort into making a house for him.
During the times of the event, could you describe where you were keeping Freddy?
For his safety, at the the first couple of days after getting him, I made a small enclosure for him until I could make a better domicile, which I have.
What is this enclosure?
It was a couple fences
we
with
had
some
that
flowers. Some flowers.
I've reviewed the
A sign.
evidence correctly. Would you say it was a 2x6 box?
It wasn't a
Perhaps
box.
against
There
the side of a
was.
mountain?
It was two sets of fences, about that amount of walking space, with a. You could still see the sky, so I wouldn't call it a box. I would call it an enclosure. And
very
again,
small
this was
pen
a
for you say temporary. How long was Freddy in this enclosure?
Like maybe a week, 2 weeks. Again, I made that as soon as I was able to, and I had the resources. I made him a house, and it is a nice house with a big balcony, a full yard where you can see with the sky. I can show everybody if y'all want to see Freddy's living spaces for the past month.
So, how often would you say you actively fed Freddy?
Pretty much every time I've been on. And again, I've also hired a bodyguard who regularly visits him when I'm not on and also feeds him.
Have you confirmed that
This
the
isn't about
bodyguard
that.
has done that?
Why don't you ask him himself? He's here in the witness stands.
We might get there. How often would you say you're on to check on Freddy?
I try to get on at least once a week.
Once a week?
At least.
So you're saying Freddy might have only been fed once a week?
No. Again,
Well,
I have hired
You
hands.
just said you tried to feed him every time you were on.
Yeah.
And you weren't. You kind of deferred to the bodyguard. You couldn't quite accurately say yourself how often he was on to check on and feed Freddy. Or
He's
if he
usually
actually
on,
did
not
that. Occasionally on at the same time, you said?
He's usually on when already when I'm on. So we have.
So there's a high
he has been
chance,
putting out multiple videos.
but you can only confirm he's on when you are, which is about once a week.
About. I
So
believe I can confirm for more because again, I do follow his channel and he has put out multiple videos.
people can make videos in a day.
can.
No.
It's a wild axolotl. So at the time with Freddy, or currently up to this point, how much social contact have you allowed Freddy?
Whenever I have visitors over, I take them to see Freddy.
What
Mostly
about
people.
other chickens such as Freddy?
I
you
have
allowed him to see
I have actually been working on getting him a friend. I just would like to. I was waiting for this court case because again, if this was to go badly, then that would be 2 chickens that would have been taken from me. So I put a lot of stuff on hold.
Your claim is you've not allowed social contact with other like creatures as Freddy because you were afraid that we would.
Objection. This is
objection.
This is a disingenuous argument against what Dawn is actually saying. Thank
Your
you.
Honor, this is related to the court case on how Dawn has been treating Freddy. Your Honor.
Sorry, I got distracted. There's an axolotl.
Would you like to restate your objection?
Yes. Objection. The argument that's being made is a disingenuous twisting of what Dawn's actually saying. She is not saying that she's keeping Freddy from socialization.
Holy.
And I argue that.
And also, there's a wither in the corner. We may want to handle that.
Oh,
I'm
that's a problem.
pizza. It's working so far in the court, so I'm throwing pizza at it.
I'd like to ask for the jury to be quiet. So, can you RGB just get rid of that portion of the wither, just in general, and also stop it with the axolotl?
Why?
Yeah, I think this is getting
I like
into
axolotl.
audience tampering territory, or jury tampering territory.
And also, I believe that the jury attendance has changed. There is a Noodles who is, I believe, supposed to be on a jury stand.
Well, we have substitute jurists for a reason. So Noodles was unavailable at the start of the proceedings. I believe Ghost will continue. Unless Ghost is going to be relieved of jury duty.
They just lost it.
With the objection, however, I do have evidence, Your Honor, of Dawn's intent to social contract limitation against Freddy. But everyone can look at evidence 25.
Let me see.
That should be posted somewhere.
I should probably. Is it 25?
Make sure it is posted.
I don't see 25.
It's like at.
But I think you have to listen to it, right?
You would have to listen to it, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I understand close to nothing right now.
I can't hear anything. This is so quiet.
Yeah, it's
I put on
really quiet.
subtitles. It does help.
I can't hear anything at max volume. Also, hey, I can't hear this.
In the evidence, Irio was unsupervised by Freddy and had some eggs, and Dawn specifically said, I cannot remember the exact quote, but she did not want any chickens with him.
This is false. The quote was actually from your own evidence. I don't want a ton of chickens in there anyways.
I did read that in the subtitles too.
In the pen already.
Still, you are misrepresenting
Well, I did say I did
what
not
the
remember
defendant
exact
has said.
quote.
That's a lack of preparation on your part. Jeez. Are you a lawyer or not?
Your Honor, are you taking sides right now?
I do want to
I
say
expect
we gave you
comportment from lawyers.
we
if
gave
you want
you
to
all the
present
evidence.
evidence, yeah.
We had you. We gave you all the evidence that we had multiple months in advance.
Yes, and then I collected more, which is what this evidence is. Apologies for not remembering the exact quote. Regardless, you were actively preventing more chickens from being in the enclosure with Freddy, which is, in its own right, limiting social contact with other beings such as himself, which can affect a child. Heavens no, I have been like that. Get personal. That being said, with Freddy's whereabouts, would you describe your home environment safe?
I was pretty safe. I've taken great pains to light up the area around his home. I have tested the fencing to make sure that intruders are not able to hop over it and get in. The only people who can get in are visitors such as myself, say maybe Sayo or Pizza, Noodles, just people who can like make a diagonal jump can get in. But since no actual like intruders are able to do diagonal jumps for some reason, they can't get in. I've got a double fenced gate. The rest of my base? Yeah, any place where people will be walking is pretty safe. Again, it's lit up. I have a shopping district, so I've been working to make sure that people are able to go in and shop without worrying about a creeper coming up behind them.
The jury will please review evidence 23. It shows several large holes, or at the very least one large hole that Dawn herself had fallen in and gotten quite hurt. And I fear that a child such as Freddy might be more susceptible to holes such as that.
Objection, old evidence. That hole is no longer accessible from Freddy's house.
Still around
like that was
during Freddy's time.
That was quite literally nowhere near him. And that was before the house was even finished. Of course, an unfinished house is going to be dangerous. That's why it's now finished.
House? A child in an unfinished house?
Yeah, that's why he's not in an unfinished house. You're giving evidence of a house that is
that
was still in the process of being
unfinished house.
No, I didn't.
You talking about how your base was unfinished, yet you were housing it there.
No.
Is that
my
not what
base?
You just said?
No. My base as a whole is a collection of tents, as well as a nearby village. Freddy was in the safest possible area of that base. Once I made a house for him that is a suitable domicile, because as you said earlier, a pen is not the best place for a child to stay long term. I made sure I built a house for him, moved him to that house once it was safe to do so, and completely child-proof. And I brought him into that house, and that is where he has been for the past month and a half.
Audio issues, so I am hesitant to bring up further evidence other than you. How would you say you feel about my client?
Honestly, surprised. This was not the area. This was not the area I've come to know. This is I thought when we brought back the original area, we'd be safe. Seems like I was wrong.
It was a false area? Oh wait.
Good friend, terrible parent.
How many are there?
Good friend, terrible parent.
Would you say you dislike or hate him?
I'd say I hate him. Just mostly disappointed and scared.
Scared?
Right.
Have you pursued legal action before this court case?
I didn't have a reason to. I had my own things going on, and again,
Action, Freddy?
pardon? Could you say that again?
You were limiting Irio's visitation before this court case.
Yes, for Freddy's safety, because again, y'all saw the evidence. I don't want him near my child. Not when he can axe him in half.
Is that limiting a parent's visitation is actually illegal?
It's illegal unless there is concern for child's legitimate safety.
Yet Irio was around Freddy multiple times, and nothing happened to Freddy.
Objection, this is a fallacy. Just because nothing happened in the time that Ario was around does not mean that something could have happened if he was around for longer periods of time.
If my audio was working, I would show Miss Dawn's lack of aggression towards the father.
Okay, so earlier, I just want to bring up, you called me dangerous, saying I attacked Irio earlier. And now you're going back and saying that I'm not aggressive towards Irio? Either I am or I'm not.
Polarism.
I am a little confused at what the argument is here.
Do you have doctor's note for that?
That Irio is extremely dangerous, and she very clearly says she doesn't want him around Freddy, yet, like I said, I do have evidence that Irio has been around multiple times and Dawn has not shown any aggression towards him during the time before this court case, which hints at possible bipolarism.
Objection, we are not making a medical diagnosis of my client in a court case. This is ridiculous.
I was just stating that there's clearly something going on here.
Objection, Tyr is not a medical professional. He is acting as a lawyer, not as a doctor.
Oh yes, my client is correct. My client.
Speaking of doctors, Dawn, do you know of any doctors around your area? Or do you have a primary care physician for young Freddy? Would I take that?
Do we have one of those on the server? I don't think anybody
So that's a
here
no.
is
You don't know of any doctors? What if Freddy had fallen into that hole that you fell into and got hurt?
Well, then I would administer medical care. I'd probably find somebody who has a brewing stand, or feed him some
Are you a medical
feed.
care professional?
I would really question the game if Freddy got hurt.
The thing is, there's only a couple ways a chicken can get hurt. Chickens do not take fall damage; they float to the ground. So that would mean somebody would have to attack Freddy. Yeah. And in order for somebody to attack Freddy, they'd have to be, they'd have to have had the intent, sorry, I'm babysitting a fluff. I am so sorry. One moment.
We'll take a very short recess so that the fluff can be tended to.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that. I was very bad timing. What was I saying? Okay, yeah, they'd have to have the intent and the means. I have eliminated the means by making the house as safe and secure as possible from anything mindless that could have gotten in. However, the only thing that can get in are people like Ario, who might have the intent to hurt my child.
Well,
Which is why I've limited access to those I believe may cause harm to my child.
Do you have a list of these members you believe might cause harm to your child?
Not a physical one, but I keep tabs.
What are the basis for you deciding someone might harm Freddy?
Have they, first of all, have they gone out of their way to harm something that did not really need to be harmed? Like, there was not really a necessary need. That is the main.
Most say butcherers?
No,
Killing
I would.
animals? I feel that's like the whole vegan movement, isn't it?
I said without a need. If
Well,
you
we did-
need food
We
and
did
you
farm.
go off and kill a hoglin, that is for your food. I personally am not eating chicken this season because I have Freddy.
Objection. The plaintiff's case is trying to equate food production services to a personal relationship with animals in a father-son or mother-daughter scenario. These are two completely different considerations.
The full
Thank you,
basis
Pizza.
between allowing people towards a child is solely based on the one person's intent, and their reasoning is something is not harming something that needs it or is needed. And the food was the example. We can get food other ways.
Was Ario needing food when he tried to axe crit my cat?
Well, that,
Yeah,
that-
Alright, I'm gonna take away from the court real quick. I just wanted to come over here and see how Freddy's doing. Oh, before I join back into the court, I decided to come over here and check on him. He's doing pretty well over here. His little house that Dawn made on her stream. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, but I like this little house for him. He's pretty good. He's a pretty good child, isn't that right, Freddy? Freddy, you are so cute. You are so cute. I've been keeping an eye on you for so long. Oh, look at what are you doing? Yeah, have some more. Here you go, buddy. Alright, I'm going to head back to the court now. Alright, Freddy, I'm going to head back to the court, alright? You better stay here and be alive when everybody comes and sees you, okay? Okay? So be good, my child. Be good.
Prosecuted for any reason.
That definitely would
the
not qualify
point
for hate
is,
speech.
You would not say that against someone you did not dislike in some way.
I was saying that. If you want to hear my reasoning, when you think about slime as an object, right? Like non-sentient glob of goo. It is cold as like an emotion. So basically, and it's also slimy. So basically,
Right.
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
No, it's okay. It's cold and slimy, and that was basically I was equating Ario's actions to a literal glob of slime.
So
you
you're
want to-
saying my client is cold and ruthless? You
Not
described?
always, but at least in this scenario, yes.
Would you consider a cold and ruthless father to fight for custody of his child?
Oh yeah.
Do you think just because he cares for them?
There are multiple reasons somebody can ask for custody of a child besides love. Trust me on that one.
Scary.
I'm sorry, could you say that again? You cut out.
Consider that you abandoned Iria.
I would need more of a definition here. I'm not.
Abandoned as in the something that's left behind is the official definition.
I mean, we
But,
still
like,
talk.
you abandoned Iria.
I would not say abandoned if we were never like buried and we still talk. Like we still like interact. He's just not allowed on my property and he's not allowed to see Freddy.
But we haven't finished the court case, so you shouldn't be able to just limit his.
Objection, this point's already been overruled. Parents are allowed to interpersonally restrict seeing children if they believe there is a legitimate concern of safety.
Which has proven that Aereo has yet to do anything to Freddy. So the act of describing Aereo being unsafe for the child is yet to be proven.
He literally
That is the
tried
purpose
to,
of this trial, so...
He tried to murder him on the day he was born. I'm sorry if I want to protect my child from that potentially happening again.
I don't remember Aereo actively trying to kill Freddy himself.
This was all given in the evidence I put in general chat. This is all this is.
And in that evidence, he was around the child and seemingly just playing with him, roughhousing.
He placed a cactus next to his temporary
with a
enclosure, hoping he would run into it. I'm sorry, Your
How
Honor.
can you?
I got out of line there.
Crazy definition.
How can you
Yeah,
prove his intent was for Freddy to walk into the cactus?
Are you calling
planting
lawyers
trees?
to stand? You're not allowed to interrogate the other lawyer unless they are also on the stand. This is just chaos. And we all know that nothing on Fractured is chaotic. Especially not in the jury.
Yeah,
Your Honor, I would like to
definitely,
prevent the
definitely
evidence
nothing.
of RGB spawning an ocelot against that statement.
I would like to point
You
out this is
spawn
not an ocelot.
I misspoke. Axolotl, very close.
Do you have any other questions for the witness currently on the stand?
Nope.
All right, Pizza Buff,
All
your
right.
witness.
Don, I'm sorry you had to go through whatever that was. I would first like to state, before we start getting into my questions for you, that I believe the plaintiff's arguments so far have been filled with fallacies, exaggerations of truth, and half-truths. You can see for yourself the evidence provided. You can imagine the scenarios that both Don and Aereo could be in this scenario, and I think we'd also like some clarifications on the actual facts of the matter when it comes to chicken safety and child development. So first of all, Don, I'd like to address the initial claim by the plaintiff that Freddy's initial temporary habitat was too small or not accommodating enough, and I believe they said it was something like a 3x6 block, something in that
2x6.
range.
Roughly.
What was that again? Sorry.
2x6.
2x6. 2x6. 2x6 blocks, which equates to a real 2x6 meters. And if we translate that to feet, you get 6 feet by 18 feet. And if you multiply those together, you get 102 square feet.
Objection, a chicken in Minecraft is just shy of 1 block, which is 1 meter. Which would make him...
Regardless, we are scaling this appropriately. Maybe a Minecraft chicken is double the size of a real chicken. However, the recommended enclosure habitat by the Freedom Ranger hatchery is 8 to 10 square feet. So we are comparing a size difference of 2x from a real chicken to a Minecraft chicken with an enclosure minimum requirement of 8 to 10 to 100. This is a 10x over what is required in real chicken coops, for real chickens, for open space to roam freely. So even Freddy Clucker's temporary enclosure, which was much smaller than his current habitat, would still be more than enough for the average chicken. I'd also like to mention, you said that you would feed Freddy whenever you saw him online. I assume that would be some matter of feed or seeds, correct?
Yeah, I actually have a variety of seeds. I've been wanting to get him more. I want to get him some beetroot seeds so he has a vegetable in his diet. But he's got wheat seeds. He's got watermelon seeds as a treat. I don't want to give him too many of those. They're very rich. And then he's got pumpkin seeds.
So you moved on from an initial kind of regular feed to a more premium feed, a grower feed, something along those lines. Awesome. So I'd also like to ask you a question. How long has it been since Freddy Clucker's birth in terms of real life time?
I would say about, I want to say 3 months, roughly.
3 months. So let's say 11 or 12
2
weeks.
to 3, yeah.
Somewhere in that range. So, starter feed is often given to chickens in the 0 to 6 week period. Starter feed is very simple. It is meant to get just some basic proteins into the chicken's diet. And then they go into grower feed, which is where they start to grow and start to develop for the 6 to 16 week period, which is where Freddy Clucker will currently be now. Now, chicken feed, you don't have to refresh or replace their chicken feed every single day. You can give a chicken a couple pounds of feed and they'll go through it through the course of several weeks.
Oh.
In fact, most chicken farmers, most people who own chickens have one 10, 20 pound bag of starter feed that they use for multiple chickens throughout their entire starter cycle. So the accusation that Dawn was not replacing and refreshing the feed every day is nonsense, because this has nothing to do with real chicken biology. This is just an appeal to emotion. That said, go ahead.
I forgot to mention earlier when I was being grilled, even if I'm not on every week, I actually have 2 separate chests set up that have the food in it inside Freddy's house that he has full access to, as well as water, anytime he likes. So when I'm not home, he can just get into that.
Yep. There is plenty of access for Freddy Clucker to access food, water. It is refreshed appropriately, if in fact not more often than recommended by real chicken farmers and caretakers of other chickens. So I believe that this argument... Sorry? Who said that?
Can chickens open chests?
I mean, they've got a beak. Birds are pretty smart.
Birds are smart. Are you implying
if we're
that
inferring Minecraft law and physics, can a chicken open a chest?
This is irrelevant to the discussion. The discussion is
very much relevant. If you're arguing that there are chests of seeds that Freddy can actively get to whenever Dawn is not around.
Your Honor, we're being grilled by the prosecuting
I think that's a reasonable objection.
It's an objection, sure. But this is an argument to be had, not a objection of truth or about the argument itself. This is a new argument that they're proposing.
I will say, even if Freddy cannot theoretically get into the chest, I also have bales of wheat sitting around the chest. So
which is another type of grain.
Well.
Yeah, and if we want to stick to full Minecraft logic, and say, no, chickens can't eat. You know what else chickens can't do in Minecraft? Starve. They don't have a digestive tract. So if you want to go full Minecraft logic, take it to the extreme. Take it to the logical extreme.
Animal cruelty.
Animal cruelty? Which what? What else is animal cruelty? Killing 20 villagers in the first couple weeks?
By the argument of Dawn earlier, that killing animals is completely natural within the circle of life.
If they are necessary for items that you are trying to, like, get food, you're trying to get food, then having, say, like, a cow farm.
Several updates. How do you know that a baby isn't going to...
Your Honor, I'd like to end this back and forth discussion with the prosecution. I don't think this is getting us anywhere.
This does seem like it's become unproductive. Yes, I agree.
Thank you. Dawn, I'd like to ask, you mentioned that you hired security for Freddy Clucker. Is the security in this room here with us?
Yes.
And that would be BMA, correct?
Yes, BMA double OG. As you can see, he's fully decked out.
Hello! Awesome. BMA, I'll need you to come up to witness a little bit later. You're good right now. I'd just like to acknowledge that you are here and that it's relevant that you are here. Because I think it's relevant to say that the argument's been made that Freddy Clucker, it was irrational or even unlawful, is the argument made, that Dawn would try to restrict Areo's visitation to Freddy Clucker. But At the same time, the argument's being made that it doesn't make any sense that if there was real concern for her safety, why would Dawn not attack Ariel? But then at the same time, they're saying that Dawn did attack Ariel. There's a lot of contradictory claims from the prosecuting side. And all of
there a question in there for the witness?
Yes.
Because you're kind of testifying here.
We're getting to the point. The point is if there wasn't a concern, Dawn has explicitly stated that she did not wish to be violent, correct? You did not have any... You didn't have a desire to be violent to Aereo at any fundamental level.
Yeah.
So, what did you do instead?
I hired a bodyguard to keep an eye out on Freddy and just kind of keep things safe.
Keep the peace. Didn't want to have... Oh, I heard the... Oh well.
So the audience is instructed to stop building withers for crying out loud.
I have a hammer.
Been moment with
Oh no, it's annoying.
So, the argument has been made that despite some contradictory claims of Dawn being aggressive, Dawn being less aggressive than she should be, which I find to be a ridiculous argument, but this is all irrelevant because Dawn took action to defend Freddy Clucker, even if she herself did not want to be violent.
The arguments against Dawn being aggressive and non-aggressive are being used in the same context when I used them indifferently. Dawn had made a aggression towards Irio after stealing his bed unprovoked, and then was not aggressive when theoretically she should be because her unwanted husband is around the child she's trying to keep him from.
Objection to the objection, they're not married. So that's false.
This was completely out of wedlock.
And also trying to keep him from her child. But
regardless,
was being non-aggressive towards it.
Your Honor, this can be very easily explained by saying that the claimed aggression moment happened right after Freddy Clucker was secured by Dawn after he was endangered by Aereo. There was some level of stress in the scenario, and I believe it's perfectly
to physically assault someone after stealing their bed.
Oh, no excuses, huh?
No,
I'd like to shut this argument down because if there's no excuses for attacking Aereo, then there's no excuses for killing 20 villagers in the first couple days of the server.
Objection, my client has admitted that is a false statement.
If a witness may speak, I would like to comment on the alleged aggression. We have property rights, right? Like, we're allowed to defend our property. If there is said a trespasser on it, right? Like that's Canadian. Is that in Canadian law?
Yeah, it's a little bit more restricted than in the United States. Any use of a potentially deadly weapon is
so my hand would not be counted as a deadly weapon, right?
It's still assault.
Yeah, but
I'd also
it's
like
minimal defense of self, only necessary for self-protection.
I'd also like to mention that Dawn was not actually punching Aereo. She was hitting him with part of the bed. Literally hitting Aereo with a cushion.
That's arguably worse.
With a cushion?
That is an.
You're making the argument that hitting someone with a cushion. Sorry, we're having to
take down the waiter again. She was holding a full bed.
My apologies. Which wouldn't make sense in real life.
Now I'm curious.
Can't pick up
were you hitting Aereo with the cushions or with the bed frame?
He was holding the full
bed.
I
can't remember,
and
but the way that you wait 1 moment. I have a bed. We can test this out.
Yeah.
Now.
Let's test this out.
Honor, look at the bed. The feet are facing down. When you overhand swing, the feet come down first.
But what way does it when I hit, right? What way is it?
It goes
the
from
hand
the right
does
to
circular
left.
motion. It's neither
Yeah.
up nor
The feet
down.
are still down. You're doing a circular motion coming through.
From what it looks like on screen, it looks like the pillow, the top corner of the top left-hand corner of the pillow, is what's making it on.
If you hit someone with a pillow, they're not going to go back and take damage.
I don't know. I've had some
Comparatively, if you
pretty
hit them
heavy
with
pillows.
the feet, they are going to take damage.
I mean,
Thank you, Your Honor.
It's just coming. Hit me. Hit
I
me.
mean, I have to
Oh,
say,
no, no.
even if it was from the side, it'd be hitting both the pillow and the frame. So,
Nevertheless,
it's not
I think for the
canceling
purposes
effect.
of this these proceedings, I am finding that it is at least within a potentially reasonable ground for Dawn to have used what she believed to be the cushions of a bed to dissuade somebody that she believed was trespassing. If we need to have further criminal proceedings afterwards, that is something that can be discussed afterwards.
Trial and trial
Indeed.
chamber.
Trial in the trial chamber.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. I do have a few more questions. Let me just pull this up here. Right. Okay, Dawn. I do have one question for you. Right after, actually, I'd like you to confirm this. The moment where you had temporarily captured Freddy Clucker to keep him from running away, scared, I imagine, from Ario, although obviously we can't confirm that. Was the moment where Ario placed a cactus before or after you named Freddy?
I'm going to be entirely honest with you. I don't fully remember, but there is video record of it.
Yeah,
and
let's-
if you
let us
refer
check
to the
real quick.
video record, then you would be able to get a definitive answer.
All right, I'm looking, and in order, it looks like this occurred before Freddy was named. So, not super relevant of a point, but I think it's important to understand for the sake of the timeline. In this moment, what did you think the purpose was of Ario placing that cactus?
There are two probably overlaying intents. One, to mess with me. Two,
True.
to have the chicken potentially walk into the cactus because it has no other area to move.
Good. So the two concerns were that Ario was harassing you in some way and that he was endangering the chicken, which, of course, immediately I assume you did your best to break the cactus and replace it with a regular block again, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So the idea that there was no potential harm done or potentially imposed to Freddy even before he was named seems rather silly, don't you think?
Objection, Your Honor. I've just reviewed the evidence, and according to the evidence numbers, which I presume should elicit chronology, the cactus was placed in evidence 7, and then the naming of the child came in evidence 8.
Yeah, we
that's-
said that.
Yeah,
That's what we
that's
said.
why.
Which would be, but you also just said that he placed the cactus after the naming.
No, I clarified it was before.
Okay.
Yeah, he asked me if that was
Right.
correct. I said I could not remember and to refer to the evidence. We looked at the evidence, found that was not the
Yep.
case.
Okay. Right after that, you'd asked Ario if you named the chicken.
I believe so.
Ario promised to leave him alone. All right. So, but of course we can't take a man's word on everything. This is the reason why we don't always trust eyewitness testimony. And why we have evidence. Because
Yeah,
immediately.
this is a sexist comment.
What?
The term a man is often used as a general term for a human. Interestingly, that use of man predates the use of man as a male human.
I would like to clarify that is exactly how I intended to use that word, despite the prosecuting attorney implying that for some reason that either I nor my client would be sexist. Feels like they're grasping at straws a little bit.
In the context of the statement, the defendant mentioned we cannot take a man's word for anything, and referring to Ario saying he was
I was not referring to Ario explicitly. I was talking
Did you all
about
know
people
that
in
man
general.
used to be a gender-neutral term, and it is only fairly recently referred to like a male biological human? It's actually very interesting. I know too much. I'm a nerd.
You and me both.
Yeah.
Fist bump.
Yay, phrenology.
Etymologies. Solidarity. Woo.
Yay. Okay. Anyways, so as I was saying, after you named Freddy, and I suppose we should address their argument that there's some malice behind naming your child the chicken after Freddy Krueger in reference, which again is a fictitious character. And I would like to ask, are you aware of the movie series Star Wars? Guys, the axolotl's dying.
Somebody get up!
No!
We've had a death in the court.
What?
How did that happen?
It drowned because they used to be in water.
They suffocate after some time.
They're like dolphins. They gotta have like both.
What, do we need to charge RGB now?
I guess.
Charge RGB.
I would like to provide this evidence that my honor being presumably cruel to animals is not out of the norm on this server.
It doesn't excuse it, but all right.
Two
Yeah, we're
specific
not doing
people
anything
is
about
does not necessarily indicate a full social norm.
So it died next to Dawn,
believe-
and since we're talking about
at least half of the
things
server
being
is
next to each
currently-
other, how does...
Oh, okay. All right. So back to the point at hand before we had a death in the court. You're aware of the famous media series Star Wars, correct?
I'm aware of it. I am not as I've dipped my toes into the pool.
All right.
To speak, but
So
I
you don't have to know very much
Dive.
lore as I do to understand this. I'm sure a spoiler warning, I suppose, but I'm sure you're aware that the character Darth Vader is also known as Anakin Skywalker.
What?!
yeah.
I did say spoiler warning.
Inconsiderate, Budge.
I did say spoiler warning.
Being so inconsiderate in court.
So it is actually quite common in the cultural zeitgeist to name people's kids, real human kids, after that character, to name them Anakin. Despite the fact that Anakin in the Star Wars series turned into a villain.
Objection,
Literally.
Your Honor, in the Star Wars series, it is presumed that Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader were technically two different people after he was consumed by the dark side.
This is
And
canonically
multiple
inaccurate,
references
Your
in
Honor.
the
I'd
script
like to
where
shut
he
this down.
admits he killed Anakin Skywalker.
He was saying
This
that
is incorrect.
metaphorically. This is incorrect.
We may have an
If we
The
bring
so
this-
comics
many
prove
lore.
this differently.
Yeah,
In multiple Star Wars
there is canon lore that disproves this idea. I'd like to shut this argument down.
The
How many
objection is
universes
overruled.
are we putting into this case? Like real world, Minecraft, Star Wars?
I would like to know that as
I'm
well.
using this as a.
We brought in
I'm
the
using this.
multiverse. We got
I'm using this as an analogy for disproving the prosecutorial argument that naming people after fictitious characters, whether morally good or morally bad in their respective universes, does not have anything to do with the intent of raising these real beings, right? People can be named Anakin after Anakin Skywalker, despite him turning into Darth Vader, and there's no intent on the parents to turn their kids into evil space wizards. This is a facetious argument, and I'm sure, Dawn, just to clarify and get it in your own words, you did not have any intent to turn Freddy Clucker into a serial killer. That would
If
be ridiculous.
anything, the only reason I named him that was to make his name memorable. Again, it was inspired off of other
Absolutely.
SMPs that name things after something that's already popular and
Exactly.
put a twist that refers to either the nature of the child or the nature of the creator series.
And I'd like to mention that I'm sure many people, either in the jury or in the stands behind us, probably have named Minecraft pets and children in a similar fashion. This is not an argument against the motherly status of Dawn. This has nothing to do with the argument. Sure, you may find a name distasteful, but again, freedom to do what you like with your child, and however you please, or even if Freddie Clucker didn't like his name, who's to say that Freddie Clucker couldn't ask to change it, or maybe Dawn would change it at some point if it really does become a social problem.
Not like I named him Tallulah does the hula from Hawaii.
Objection, Your Honor. If we're arguing about Minecraft physics, a chicken cannot name himself.
Chicken can't name themselves in real life either, Tyr. Just go with it.
Yeah, well, still. that proves my point more. The chicken is now foreverly Freddie Clucker. And it has been scientifically proven that names can affect personality.
And now we're kind of towing the line of that we did in the last case about if a chicken's not able to care enough to want to change their name,
then how would they know what their name is?
Yeah, we're kind of touching
That's
in on.
We're going into
I don't like where
philosophical.
that's going.
We are going into philosophical territory when talking about virtual chickens. I think this is again a facetious argument.
Yeah, I think we should move on from this argument on the simple basis that I am a giant nerd about these things, and I have a degree that literally involves philosophy, and I will just nerd out about all of this and waste everybody's time, which
Totally
nobody
fair.
wants.
We'll
Totally
never see it.
fair.
Sounds good.
All right.
We should probably move witnesses then.
Minecraft is just a simulation.
Before we move witnesses, I have one last question for you, Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
And this is to do with what happened soon after you made your temporary enclosure for Freddy. You were building in your shop. You were organizing things. You have your plushie business, correct?
Yes, it's very successful actually.
Awesome, wonderful. I'm assuming you're using the profits from that to support Freddy and his housing and I don't know, maybe education.
We'll absolutely do so.
Absolutely. So,
we want to make sure that I'm well off, he's well off. Actually, I think I said this on stream. Just because I'm homeless doesn't mean my child should be. So he's got a house. He's got funds set up for his future. It'd be actually kind of neat to put like a college fund chest somewhere.
sure. I mean, it's only been 12 weeks. I don't think most college funds start a little bit after that. But yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So you are using this shop to support Freddy Clucker. Pretty obvious that this would be at least part of the reason it exists at this point. Now, there is a moment, if we look at our evidence, number 16, where Ario appears outside your shop, fully kitted out in diamond armor and a pollinated bee head, for whatever reason.
I had a bee head once.
Perhaps that implies that he had previously killed a bee as well. We may not know that. But then he pulled a crossbow on Dawn and shot her multiple times in her own shop, proceeding to state, and I quote, let me find the moment. Yes, this is a robbery. Put your hands in the air and give me everything you have. That is an exact quote. So not only is he attacking Dawn in her shop that she uses to support Freddy, but he is asking her to give him everything she has out of her inventory or out of the shop that, again, would have been used to support Freddy. So if Ario really cares about Freddy's safety, about Freddy's future, why would he steal resources and attack the mother?
Objection, Your Honor. This evidence is spliced to make my client look bad. It does not show the aftermath.
Oh, you wanted to say that ours is spliced. You should take a look at the 9-second clips y'all took.
I think Your Honor, all evidence is spliced and should be nulled entirely.
Objection to the objection, Your Honor. That's a ridiculous claim.
I mean,
the evidence stands for itself.
Happened? So,
the evidence stands for itself that, in fact, Dawn was attacked, and Ario did ask for her items out of her shop. or out of her inventory. The implications there for either way. And it implies that there's no real concern of safety from the plaintiff. There is a concern for personal gain and a concern for pursuing whatever means they desire by any means necessary. And I think that this suit for full custody is just an extension of that philosophy. Getting what he wants by any means necessary. Thank you, Don. If you don't have anything else to say, you may return back to the chair. That is all I have for Don.
So we are starting to run low on time.
You
I
have
believe.
one more witness.
Yeah.
Motion to move to closing remarks.
We have one more.
I believe we've gotten everything necessary.
Well, I mean, the defense hasn't had the opportunity to provide their own witnesses. So
Sure.
I just think we should move a little bit faster.
Yes,
Maybe a little bit less speechifying.
This witness will be quick. BMA, if you'd like to come to the witness stand with me.
Yeah.
First, does the prosecution have any, or the plaintiff have any more witnesses that they want to call?
No witnesses from us, no.
Okay, then yes, please proceed. BMA, take the stand. Whatever oaths we're doing, I don't know.
I vow to be Canadian in this legal process.
Excellent.
Be Canadian. Oh yeah, be Canadian.
Canadian, right?
Yeah.
Coffee
Be
and
Canadian,
donuts
eh?
and ice skating or something.
Coming
All right.
So,
BMA.
Where's the poutine?
BMA.
alright.
You were hired by Dawn to be Freddy's bodyguard, correct?
Yep.
And have you been paid for your services yet?
No, I haven't been paid for my services at all.
But you have an agreement with Dawn for payment at the end of this trial and seeing what happens, either if you need further protection or if your contract needs extended or payment after it's all concluded, correct?
Yes.
You have an agreement. Wonderful. So tell me, were there any incidents where you had to step in as a bodyguard?
Actually, I think I remember there was one incident where I had to step in and try to keep like Freddy from falling into the wrong hands of an hero.
Mm-hmm. Could you elaborate on when this happened and what area was attempting to do?
I'm trying to think what week it was.
An exact time isn't necessary. Just roundabout. Was it a couple weeks into being hired? Was it just a couple weeks ago?
It was a couple. I think it was a couple weeks when I was hired.
Okay. So what happened?
I believe Arrow was trying to take Dawn, try to take the child without.
I'm hiding.
Without my attention, so I had to step in and see what he was gonna do.
Okay, so you think that Ario in this moment was attempting to take Freddy away from Dawn's habitat that at this point she had constructed the proper home, correct?
Yes.
The real one, yes. So you caught Ario trespassing on Dawn's property.
Well, no, that's not the whole story, but it turns out he didn't actually do anything to Freddy. Like he didn't even came over to Dawn's area.
Oh, so he had just made an implication that he would?
Yeah, I was kind of worried when he said it in chat one day.
Okay, so he made a threat to
Yeah.
take Freddy from the property, but once you presented yourself, nothing actually happened.
Yeah.
So I think this is indicative of the fact that the jury is very low. I think this is indicative of the fact that hiring you probably was a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and I was doing a great job, keeping Freddy all fed up when Dawn wasn't online. I've always visited her area to check on Freddy and feed him and make sure he's taken care of.
Wonderful, wonderful. So Dawn has put considerable resources into keeping Freddy safe, and clearly it has worked out because potential threats have been quashed. Threats, of course, are not immediate actions, but they are relevant to the court because an intent to do harm is not necessarily indicative that anything would have happened. But this is not the only case. Dawn, you have a couple of other things. Yes. So this item here, which I will present to the group, this is a sword. This is a sword that Ario used to threaten Freddy. He threatened Freddy, and he threatened other animals in the area using this sword. We had it in a bundle to protect against fingerprints. We will give this to the judge to inspect. And we also have this ominous bottle. You may remember that BMA, I'm assuming you spent a large amount of your time either near Freddy or in the village nearby, correct?
Yeah.
When acting as a bodyguard. Yeah. In a village nearby.
May I see the sword?
It did trigger, I don't think it didn't trigger the raid.
Didn't trigger the raid. Well, yes, of course. That's why we have this. This ominous bottle was owned by Ario with a threat to trigger raid in the area as well. And this sword was dropped by Ario while he was on a happy gas, I believe, whenever he was taking the other two chickens using the happy gas. That sword was dropped. So clearly during that outing... Sorry?
Objection, is there a way to prove this?
It is in the initial VOD. I don't know if we got that clip isolated, but the VODs are up on my Anonymous VODs channel. If anybody wants to go back and check through.
Yeah, this is physical evidence that we presented over, and it is double checkable using the VOD. The same moment, I believe it was clip number 15. That would have happened in that particular moment. Correct, Dawn?
Yeah, sometime shortly before that, because
he had been messing around on the happy gas prior.
Yes.
Yes. So between these two pieces of evidence, these two material, physical pieces of evidence that have been taken from the scene, and the implication that BMA services really were actually utilized and taken advantage of. Thank you, BMA. You may return to your seat. Unless they'd like to do any cross-referencing, but
I do have a couple short cross.
Okay, so BMA, I'm sorry. you're gonna have to go back. You're gonna have to go back up for cross-referencing. But I believe that all of the evidence we provided is indicative that BMA's job was very important.
So, BMA, when exactly were you hired by Dawn to protect Freddy?
Well, as soon as I heard this whole child custody case going on, I came over to Dawn's area and I wanted to know what was going on. And I spoke with Dawn and she was like, I really need someone to be a bodyguard to protect the child during this whole court custody case. And so I decided to take the job and I decided to do it.
Okay. And how often would you say you were online to check on Freddy?
I was online I'm always online every day.
Every day? And you check on Freddy every day?
Yeah, I check on him all the time.
Okay. If you could give a number, how many times were your services at a bodyguard actually needed?
As long as somebody was, as long as he wasn't being threatened by anyone.
So, how many times did you actually have to stop someone from being around Freddy? Or particularly Irio?
I would probably come over there and try to threaten him with or should I say a bow?
So you went to Irio and threatened him to come over?
Yeah,
or not come over?
Yeah, I did not.
But did you not say you would threaten him with a bow? How often would you have to stop Irio from being near Freddy? Like in the case you mentioned with Pizza Buff, you mentioned you revealed yourself as the bodyguard. How many instances in that scenario took place?
It only happened like once.
Just the one time? So
Yeah.
you never really had to defend against Irio?
Yeah, I never had to.
Alright. That's all my questions, Junior.
Very well.
It wasn't me.
Wait, what wasn't you?
What?
Nothing.
What do you do?
Why is there glass over by the jury now?
I like to request people to stop messing around.
I'll actually second this request.
Yeah.
Your Honor, probably not.
All right. Well, I believe if that's everything, B-Man can come back, correct, Your Honor?
Yep.
Wonderful.
Alright.
Appreciate it,
And we
B-Man.
have closing arguments. Unless anybody else needs to be a witness.
I don't believe so. Prosecution, do you want to flip a coin on who goes first?
Sure.
Heads or tails?
Heads.
Heads you are, or heads you aren't?
Heads I am first.
And let's see here. I'm getting the coin flip. It is heads. You are first.
Once again, good, probably evening by this point, gentlemen and ladies of the jury. Throughout this entire court trial, we've gone over multiple bits of evidence, and I believe, in the end, we've discovered a lot about the past characters of the defendant and plaintiff, and within the court case, I feel we've probably discovered more of the current feelings of who they actually are. When my client came to me, the first thing he said was, "I would like custody of my child." And in his words, to me, that didn't sound like a father who had any ulterior motives other than being there for his kid. The second thing he said to me was, "I will settle for visitation." And as someone in society, I can account that having both parents involved in a child's life is significantly better than only one, regardless of who the parent is. There's several speculations and studies on whether a single mother household or single father household is better, etc., etc. In the end, most people just want to have, especially children, want to have both of their parents. So, I would remark that my client, first off, he may have made some mistakes in the past, as we all do. I know I certainly have. I have to live with them, and I've tried to grow from them. I would trust that my client is under the same mentality. And I will add, I've been to his estate. It is very nice and lovely, open range. It would be a great place for a chicken to, at the very least, visit and see and stretch his little legs. So I urge you to consider what is really best for Freddy, especially seeing as the evidence has not provided that my client has actually done anything to him and truly only wants the best for his son. That is all.
Etha, your turn.
All right. Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I think we've seen a lot today, about feelings from the prosecution. They've talked a lot about how they feel that Ario was shamed or unfairly taken from his child. A lot of feelings about how the arguments that have been made here are irrelevant because we feel that children should be with both parents in all instances. I ask you, does this apply to parents who are dangerous? Ignore the feelings of sympathy and feel sympathy towards who this customs is about. Freddy's brother or sister was killed by this man. 20 other villagers, a completely different class of creature, more intelligent than chickens, more active, all killed by this man. 2 other chickens kidnapped by this man. Now, there is something to be said about the desire to know both parents, and that is why we will say that despite us thinking that no visitation should be allowed, if the jury thinks it should be, we would like to say that this should be highly supervised visitation, not unsupervised, and certainly not full custody. Ario has shown time and time again to be a threat, to be dangerous, not only to other players around him, but to pets and children, even ones that he himself have produced by throwing eggs, which kind of counts, I guess, in this universe. So, again, I'd like to just incentivize here that you take a look at the evidence. Overwhelmingly, the aggression, the threats, the danger, all came from the prosecution. While Dawn here only did everything in her ability to protect her child, to keep him safe, to keep him fed, happy, and healthy. Thank you very much.
Okay. So we have had all the normal proceedings. Now it's up to the jury to decide. I guess we have a couple questions. First, who should have custody of Freddy? If it's not joint custody, then is visitation allowed? And if so, is it supervised or unsupervised visitation? And also, one additional matter I would like the jury's feedback on is what to do with the person who has been horribly abusing axolotls in the courtroom here.
Dun dun dun!
Dun, dun, dun.
So I will leave that for you to decide. Does anybody have a water
he's going
bucket?
to drown again,
Yeah,
right?
I was about to say.
That's just case proof.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Noodles.
Thank you, Noodles.
And he won't know. He will not know.
He will never know.
Okay.
He will not know who did it.
So these are the questions before you. Do you need to take
He does.
a recess to go make go debate?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
probably should discuss.
Yeah.
I would instruct you to go to the jury quarters to, make to have your discussion. But it appears that we don't have any
I
jury.
was about to say.
It's fine.
The rest of the
Oh yeah, hold the ground. That works too.
Nope.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, they're gonna beat the basement gremlin. That is.
Oh, thank you
Also the
back. Thank you for
architect.
the evidence back, Your
Oh,
Honor.
that works too.
John, if you'd like to.
I mean, they
Keep that
do
on
still
hand.
here, so we should.
We're
Go
in
to
a
another
Discord,
chat room.
so it's not like it's gonna...
Does anybody want a complimentary? I don't know. Drink hat.
my resource pack.
Oh, I loved it. Oh, wait, those are awesome. Wait, that's awesome.
You want one?
That is awesome.
I do
You can
want
have it.
one. Yes,
yeah, you
please.
can have it. There you go. You also want one, Noodles?
Wait,
Oh,
why
this
was
is
there
great.
Why was there a firework?
It just fell in my inventory.
Hmm.
think someone dropped it. Oh, thank you.
Here you go.
Does anybody
Anybody
need
else
food while
want
we're here?
a cup
I have
hat?
not been running around
No,
enough
thank
to eat anything.
I can't even see him.
Oh, that's fair.
All right.
You want
I'm
one,
just
Otter?
gonna take a quick breather.
Sure.
Oh, are we doing a recess right now?
Florida.
Kinda,
Thanks.
yeah.
Jury.
Jury's
Jury's
making their decision.
I forgot I was muted.
Oh.
I was saying to everyone, I forgot I was muted.
I forgot the jury
Oh,
was making a
whoops.
decision, and then I hope everyone's made a secret room for them because it's actually behind the wall downstairs.
That's
Oh, it's literally
crazy.
just a 2-block wide hallway in the ground.
I just had
Oh,
I
God.
went down there to check and see where the jury went, and they used a little room for me.
I need to ask about the attendance today. Who's not on the people attending on the the
I believe
list.
since I made my own appearance, I will add my name here. I don't think I added myself.
you
And
have
me.
Yeah, you
First,
kind of
middle,
we
and last
kind of
name.
made it hard for you to put
Wait,
your
I don't
name in
think-
prior.
I don't think I put my name in.
Yeah, you need to put yours in first, middle, and last.
I'm
Unless
sorry
you
that
don't
I
have a
was
middle.
Also, like, big shout out to Aero and Tier for like keeping the secret of
Yeah,
NBA.
they knew the whole
Yeah,
time.
NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I do.
Nice.
And BMA, yeah, for keeping the secret and letting us have like a grand entrance for pizza. We missed you, buddy. Nice having you back for a day.
It was good having you here.
Mhm.
Yeah, you should come
Absolutely.
on.
Sorry, I was late.
Also,
No
while
worries.
the jury is busy doing their thing, does anybody
Okay,
want to
it's
turn with
okay,
the gavel?
girls. You were able to
Yes.
stay here.
I fell asleep.
Get out of here. There we go. Thank you.
I love that.
Yay! Oh, they're back. Here you go.
Oh, they're back?
Here you go, Miss. Yeah, I heard Sapphire say they're back.
No, they're still in the VC.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
Yeah, maybe they accidentally opened voice chat.
Oh, yeah, they must have.
Accidentally
'Cause, like,
unmuted or
I have
something.
I only have it muted.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
In case anybody forgot to turn off the thing. I just
Because
flipped
I feel like there might be a couple people deafened for some reason. I don't know.
Noodles,
Oh, come on.
And to their Sayo.
Hey,
Yeah.
anyone got a
good pizza.
diamond?
Thanks for coming on here.
Yeah, no, it was my pleasure to be a lawyer again.
Does anyone have a hand just real quick?
I have
Yep.
one.
I would give you one, but I literally have like 15 pieces of food and that's it. I have nothing in my inventory. Oh wait, I've got the drink hat, I suppose. I'll
Yes.
take that off. Oh, they're coming
Here
back.
They are.
Oh.
Alright.
We forgot to establish who's the
You know what's
Who's the
funny,
grand
guys?
jury? The jury.
Oh, we established that amongst ourselves.
Oh, excellent.
Hey, you know what's funny, guys? During this whole court, everyone's just been working downstairs.
Wait, really?
Yeah, we're all awesome.
Attention.
Unpaid labor.
The
So.
jury has seen
Labor.
some things that we do not wish to discuss.
Let's not talk about the basement. Yeah.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
What is said in the basement stays in the basement.
Oh, we just don't. Yeah. What's
Except
been
for
said,
the
Sayo?
decision made regarding Freddy.
Okay.
We have noted that one of the arguments made was that Freddy has technically reached a level of maturity regarding chickens. Given how long this has gone on, we would like request that Freddy be moved into a collaboratively built house made by Dawn and Irio in the spawn area.
So that he
It
can live
would-
on his own. That's the idea. Yeah.
He can live on his own, and both have full visitation rights to visit Freddy in his own house.
Okay. That seems reasonable.
Yeah, have to
Alright.
adjourn.
Have you reached
Your
a
Honor.
decision on what to do about the person torturing axolotls?
Oh, I completely forgot about that.
And he's part of the jury.
Let's go to the basement for that.
Oh, actually,
Oh
we could get the basement.
Oh, you've had them.
I fell down again.
Are they just
my
gonna
God,
take care of
follow
them
them.
down
That's
there?
great. Okay, so RGB, what do we do about you?
Can I make a suggestion?
Okay.
I mean, you are the judge, so.
You
The
could
judge
require
may-
me to
I'm okay
participate
with that.
in the construction of the dwelling for poor
charges.
Freddy Clucker.
Oh my god.
RGB could also be put on
This is
community
very big
service.
basement.
Over there.
Uh,
He's like a pretty good lawyer.
Yes, he really is.
Well,
Okay, Don. When will we get built into this at some point?
Is this something we're gonna have to talk about?
All right.
All right. So do we have an
We'll talk
updated
about that
decision?
Community service.
Community service?
Community service for a dead axolotl. Should be a murder charge.
I mean, you're not being charged for
Can
murder,
get equal
Uriel,
placement
so
right
I
away,
think it's
so-
fine.
Can't really lock RGB up for murder, so we're just gonna issue community service.
Yeah, we don't actually have a jail, so
Oh, we have a jail,
basement
but I
is
don't
the
know
one.
if we want to put RGB
The basement?
And RGB even says it. No, we do. We do.
We could
Come on.
technically
should
lock
be put in jail.
RGB up, but in terms of Minecraft, I don't know if that's fair.
I'm very curious. about
Okay,
yeah.
there's a little one prison in the basement. We were wondering about that.
That's- yeah, that makes sense.
That emeralds?
I think
But they look so good.
given the emotional upset displayed by the jury upon their return from the basement originally, I think that sentencing RGB to prison in the basement would probably qualify as cruel and unusual. So yeah, we're gonna go with community service. 1 hour of community service. There.
Somebody in my chat is
and-
calling RGB the man behind the slaughter lottle.
Oh my god.
Can we also get an official ruling? We have the decision by the jury, but can we get an official ruling on the with
yeah,
the
I
gavel
need it.
strikes on
Oh,
the
Let me get up there.
custody case?
Yes.
The what strike?
With the gavel.
We need the gavel.
Yeah.
We reiterate the decision we've made on Freddy and strike the gavel.
Yeah. So Irio and Dawn are instructed by the jury to work together to build a new home for Freddy Clucker somewhere in the vicinity of Spawn, and to make sure that his needs are taken care of.
Yay.
Yay!
Yes.
You're gonna help as if they need help with that. RGB. That's your community service.
That's convenient.
Real gathering duty.
Or unless it's.
Mhm.
Do we need to decide anything else in court today?
I think
There's one addendum I'd like to request about the shared custody. Well, I guess not custody, since we are essentially giving Freddy Clucker his own independent housing. What about the matter of transportation to that residence, and
Yeah,
what about the possible security concerns beyond that?
I don't feel very comfortable moving him because either we'd have to bring him through the Nether, which is its own slew of issues. I remember that being a semi-concern in the last custody case of whether or not.
Hey, I mean,
Maybe.
sorry, but we're just here to make decisions, not think them through, okay?
And bring him to the overworld. It's like a almost 2,000 block. Like 1 sec. Where's my? Yeah, that's 800 blocks in that direction, and it's a lot of cliffs. And I mean, he can
It's
fly.
a chance
but-
for y'all
Party
to
can-
make up.
Happy gas.
I would just pick him on a lead and probably fly with gas. You have that, right?
Yeah.
No,
Say
Yeah.
if you're
That's what I was
concerned,
gonna
a
suggest.
non-partial party can take a gas to Freddy Clucker via gas boat.
Unfortunately, I I think Aereo has happy gas. I unfortunately do not.
Yeah.
Oh
can
yeah.
both
Oh
ride
yeah.
your
provide
Your
gas
happy
and you
gas
could-
died. I remember that.
Family road trip.
Family road. Oh my
It's
god.
like sending your kid
Um,
off to college.
We
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like to say that it actually might be best for us to jointly do it, so you have supervision, but also the bodyguard as well, just in case any event happens, which
Yeah.
I don't believe would, just in the case of any event that can or could happen. So I like to suggest that, or there's always a chance of maybe doing a minecart, or
Regardless,
or-
I think it should be agreed that at least it would not be through the Nether. It would be some safe form of
yeah, I
transportation.
agree.
Yeah. it
I
should
think
be like that.
there's an official ruling that I will hand down here, which is that Dawn and Aereo are to work out the details of transportation. If you run into any conflicts that you can't resolve, then you can come ask me and I will resolve them for you in the way that I deem most entertaining for me.
Right.
Unbiased judge.
There we
In
go.
that case, does anybody want to come visit Freddy?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen Freddy once when they gave him
Alright.
the grass.
Well, let's go see him.
Let's just talk for a little second.
No, okay, RTV is the only person who can't
And
come.
DC too.
Wait,
Uh,
that's the
Unfortunately.
order sound.
Bum, bum.
Thanks.
To the portal!
Alright, and yeah, we go to Dawn's area. Oh man! That was an awesome court case today. Like, that was so good. I cannot believe that went so good. Like, so many fractures were there. Like, you all saw like what we all did. We're all ready, yeah. And I was being my bodyguard duty, kind of security right here. And yeah, and honestly, I hope you guys really like the skin I used for the whole court case. Like, yeah, this skin was actually just started for this episode because, of course, next episode we're gonna be back into my other skin because this is only for court. Because it's a good idea to come to court with a fancy suit and stuff. And yeah, so Aero and Dawn are both in custody, and they have to build a house at spawn for Freddy. Yeah, and honestly, Otter did such a great job as a judge. And honestly, for the first time in my life, I hardly ever been part of a court, but being a witness, I was able to be so brave on what I wanted to say and like the whole witness of the court. Yeah, and I don't know, like the other episode you saw me like trying to defend Freddy from Aero because I was afraid of Aero coming to Dawn's area because he wasn't allowed to come to Dawn's area because of that. But yeah, I hope you guys really like the story, like, of us doing, like, this court and stuff. I cannot believe, like, so many people were there. Yeah, even Ghost was there. Like, I can't believe he was there. Yeah, and even Emerald. It was funny because Emerald is the one who built that, courthouse, as you can see. And it's funny because Emerald was there the whole time. He was working on the jails downstairs. Yeah, he added jail cells downstairs. Yeah, you saw Emerald's like there the whole time. But I have to say, Tyr was a pretty good warrior for a hero. Like, he did such a great job as well. Even I questioned him about my concerns about this whole like bodyguard stuff. But hey, I don't know, guys. Do you want me to do more like be like one of the law of you want me to like be like an actual officer, or yeah, because I was thinking about being an officer on the server where like if there's like any lawful things going on around the server. Like, who knows? Like, do you guys want me to do this? Just go down in the comments down below and say if you guys really want me to do this. But anyways, thank you all for watching this episode. Yeah, there wasn't really a whole lot this episode. I was doing like ocean monument raiding, and I was also discussing what my race is going to be for this season, and the rest will be the court case this episode. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. And please hit that like button and go subscribe to my channel, as well as go subscribe to the other fractures on the server as well. Yeah, everybody's links will be in the description down below. As well as you should join my YouTube and Twitch Discords, my Discord server. The link is also in the description down below. As well as go follow me over on Twitch as well. And also go follow me over on my other social medias as well. Yeah, I would appreciate that. Anyways, guys, I will see you all next time. Goodbye!